one thing I found, an acronym about sort of the principles for thinking about approaching a parent-teacher conference, I found from the Harvard Family Research Project. So I wanted to share it with you because I think it's really great and doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. So the acronym is Be Heard, and that stands for best intentions assumed on all parts, emphasis on learning, home and school collaboration, examples and evidence, active listening, respect for all, and dedication to follow-up. So you'll be talking about a lot of things in that conference and thinking about, so how are we going to follow up? What's our plan to make sure we're both and our child is doing what we can to support their growth and learning throughout the rest of the year? So a couple things to think about when you get to the conference. You may be a little nervous, and everyone involved may be a little nervous, but number one, start with a positive attitude. So go in, even if you have concerns or challenges that you want to share, or you feel like this teacher isn't getting your kid, or they don't really know how to work best with your kid. Go in with the perspective that you're both there to figure it out and come up with solutions. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, as far as things you're going to talk about, you want to talk about progress and effort. So, of course, you want to find out, so what are the grades? How is he doing? Is he doing what he needs to be doing? He often comes home and tells me he doesn't have any homework. Is that really what's going on? Right? So you want to get clear on how much effort is your son or daughter putting into the work. Number three, see your child's work. So hopefully you've done some of that prior to getting there, but ask to see the portfolio of your child. They all have one for their students. Check out the examples and ask questions that you have. Any questions about grading or anything else, that's a really good time to ask them. Tip number four, share what you know. As we've said, you've written that down, so now you just get to share what you know about your kid, and also share your pride, those strengths and unique things that make your kid special. Share those with the teacher so that they have a better insight into who your child is. Number five, ask what you can do. So how can I help? Do we need to be doing more homework at home? Can I come in every once in a while? Find out what the teacher thinks will be helpful, and certainly then the two of you will work on that together. And number six, ask about supports at school. So this could be tutoring, academic help, it could be after-school activities. It could also be if your son or daughter needs some counseling, needs some support, find out who the counselor is, who the social worker is on staff. If your son or daughter has an IEP or has needs for medication, you want to make sure you know who those folks are too, and you're setting up meetings with that team to talk more about making sure the needs are met that your child has. After the conference, so made it through the conference, we've had conversation, you want to make sure before the conference is over, you both come up with a plan. So what's the action plan moving forward? Who's involved? How long is it going to take? Schedule another time to talk with the teacher so that you're able to measure progress on the supports that you're putting in place and the action plan that you've come up with. And last but not least, talk to your child. So full circle, right? Come back together with your child. Share with them what you talked about. Share what the responses were to the questions that you asked the teacher, and also let them know, again, what the teacher said about them that was great, any concern that they shared, and what the plan is moving forward, because it needs to involve them too. So that's my list of tips to allay some of the anxiety and help you feel really prepared. For young people who have diagnosed mental illness or even undiagnosed mental illness or learning disabilities or developmental disabilities, these are things that you really want to make sure you know who at the school is there to support. Who's the support team for young people who have IEPs, who need counseling on a regular basis, who have medications. So making sure that you're reaching out to them as well and setting up conferences and meetings with them. MHA does have family resource centers, which I think I've talked about before, but the family resource centers are throughout the 5 boroughs. For more information, you can go on our website, and we also do have some adolescent skills centers and other resources for young people, adolescents with mental illness and behavioral challenges in school. So I hope that you'll check out our website, and if you need more information, that's a great place to start.